Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about lip vibration and how important it is to get good lip vibration so you can get a nice crisp drone, really, a crisp musical tone in the didgeridoo. A lot of people, particularly beginners, can often hear other players, more experienced players playing and kind of think, oh, why doesn't my drone sound like that? It can often sound duller in comparison to a really crisp musical drone that an experienced player's got, and he's been playing for some years. So I'm going to explain that and, maybe explain a good approach to it, really, so that you can work and progress to try and get that crisp drone, and also kind of be able to chill out on it as well, so that you don't, you're not trying to force it, you're not trying to rush it, or get disappointed in the fact you can't get it now. So okay, so the thing is, one of the important things is when you start off, let's just say you've been playing for a few weeks. If you've been playing for a few weeks, you're just going to really start off with a kind of airy drone to start with, or at least for the first couple of days, you're going to get like an airy drone. But I'll show you what I'll do is I'll give you a little demo of an airy drone, a sort of a drone that's not so airy, that kind of sort of in between, and a drone that's much more musical, that's an experienced player will have. I'll do that now so that you can just hear it. This is what I call an airy drone. That's what beginners tend to have. They've just got the drone, it's very airy, and it doesn't sound very musical to start with. Everyone starts off like that. Most people do anyway. So here's the next drone. This is, say you've been playing for a few weeks. You might have something like this, or maybe just a few days. Now that's not quite so airy, still a bit airy, but there's a bit more drone there going on. It's a little bit better than just getting the really airy drone. And then the next one up from that might be something like this. Just slightly better, maybe, but still, not really getting that what you want for that really musical tone, that really crisp drone. And so the next one up from that, then, let's just say you've been playing a while, a bit more experience, you're hoping to get a little bit more tunefulness out of it. It should be something like this. Right. That's just from experience and playing over the years. I'm able to get, as a lot of players will do, and you will do in the future, just get a tighter, crisper drone. It just sounds nicer. So basically it's to do with the lip vibration and the pressure, from your cheeks, and the transformation of energy from the air pressure in your cheeks through your lips, making them vibrate tighter. The lips are tighter and gives a better quality of vibration. But as I say, when you start off, you can't really expect to get that straight away. So one of the main things is, if you're a beginner and you, let's just say, been playing for a few weeks, and you hear someone playing, think, well, I want to sound like that, you got to relax on that a little bit, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's gonna take some time. For me, for example, I think I was playing, I picked the circular breathing up within a month. That varies with people, but after that, I think the drone I had was reasonable. After a few weeks, the drone was reasonable, but it wasn't until about 8 months down the line that suddenly my drone improved, and it was like, oh, that's nice. I got a bit of a nice improvement there. I just became a bit more tuneful, and then I thought, oh wow, you know, this is good. I'm on to something now. You know, my didge playing is going to improve. Everything sounded a bit more tuneful. Things I was practicing and just mucking about with, it was great. And then it wasn't probably till about a couple of years later I went to a festival, Didge Festival. This was in Exeter, one of Ant Scott's festivals, and I was I was having a go on a few sticks there, some nice sticks somewhere on one of these stands, and Steve Heath, who was a really good player, came up. I'd been playing this stick, and Steve Heath had a go on it, and he played it. I thought, wow, he just made that really sing. You know, I thought, wow, it sounds so much better than I was playing it. I was doing all right on it. It sounded quite nice, but when he played it, it was like just took it up another level. And I thought, okay. So I've been playing about 2 years. I thought, that's interesting. I got some improvement to do. I've got some improving to do to get to that level. You know, I might not sound like him in the future, but I can, if I practice and I keep going and persist. I thought, you know, there's no reason I can't get a much better sound in the future. So it was exciting, really, because it's like anything, it inspires you, doesn't it? It sort of inspired me to think, I did try afterwards to try and get that sound, and I realised, I thought, I'm not going to get it. I can't force it within that time. Wasn't going to happen. So yeah, it was, when I went home after the festival, I just started sort of practicing and, you know, just monitoring what I was doing. And, you know, I enjoyed what I had already, my drone and that, but I was kind of thought, right, I'm going to practice and see if I can get this. So there we go. It just goes to show you, it can take years for your drone to really improve. It can take weeks for it to improve quickly, and it can take, after a period of a few months, it can suddenly go up a notch, and then in years to come, it can really improve. And that will vary from person to person. Some people might get it quicker, and some others it'll take longer. You know, there's no really rule to how long that's going to take. So anyway, one of the things, so how can that be improved? Because actually, just coming back to the drone there, I just played some basic drones there, and if for example I'm playing a rhythm, if I was playing, I'll give you an example. So let's just say I'm just playing my basic Papa Wow Diddle rhythm, for example. If I did it, I'm going to do it first without it being tuneful. I'm going to play it as though my lips aren't really got the vibration. This is kind of how it might sound. Right, so there we go. Not very tuneful. I mean, there's a bit of tune going on. You know, it's not. You know, that's what we have to start off with and work with. And as I say, some people might just speed up quicker, but it took me a while. But I'm just going to do a drone now, which is a bit more tuneful, and you should hear the difference, hopefully. So the lips are vibrating more. I've got more pressure in the cheeks going through the lips, and it's just singing more, you know, and that's really a nice place to get to, but it does take time. So one of the things I found many years ago that helped, I think it was probably around about 8 months after I've been playing, and I think it was actually just before the 8 months, I think I started experimenting. I can't exactly backtrack to exactly what happened, but I think this is what happened. I can remember observing my, you know, thinking about what I was doing with my lips, and just mucking about. And I remember thinking, you know, which lips are vibrating? I've got 2 lips, you've got the top lip and the bottom lip. And I tried experimenting and with my bottom lip, because when I remember practicing, I thought, I had a feeling my top lip was vibrating more than my bottom one. So I tried pushing my bottom lip in. Actually, I tried pushing the whole of my mouth in, so almost pouting, going like that in the didge. And then I started experimenting with the bottom lip, because I had the feeling that my top lip was vibrating more than my bottom one, and I had no idea what difference that was going to make at the time. So I experimented and I pushed my whole mouth in there more, my lips, and I also then started experimenting pushing my bottom lip in a bit more. So my bottom lip nowadays is a little bit more in the didge and vibrates more. But I actually practiced seeing if I could get that bottom lip going, because I was aware that it wasn't going. I don't quite know how, I kind of at the time thought, I think my top lip's vibrating. I could sort of feel it, sense it vibrating more. And I practiced and practiced with the bottom lip, and I did get it, I got it to start working more. And as I did with the bottom lip, I think that was around about the 8 months that my drone improved, and I thought, okay, I got the bottom lip working. You can actually tell if your bottom lip or top lip are vibrating by putting your tongue as you're getting the drone just behind the lip to feel the vibration. You probably won't be able to do this completely as a beginner, because you'll probably just lose the drone, but certainly when you've been playing a while, it's easier to get the tongue behind the top lip or the bottom lip, and you can feel it vibrating. If I do a lower drone, if I kind of do an airy drone, I can feel the top or lip vibrating with my tongue now, just putting it in. If I do a tighter drone, of course I'm interfering with the drone a bit, but I can feel the lips vibrating. And don't worry about that too much. I mean, it's it's an experiment you can try later on if you want to. But one of the other ways to try, one of the ways that I also tested my lips was I stopped the top lip vibrating, or I stopped the bottom lip vibrating. So for example, you can just get the top lip vibrating, just to test which ones are vibrating, by moving your mouth down on the didge, so that and push on the lip so it stops it vibrating. I might not get a great drone, but you can tell how much your lip's vibrating, and you can think, okay, that lip's vibrating. You can do it the other way round, sort of cut off the top lip from going by moving your mouth up, pushing that on the mouthpiece, so the top lip can't vibrate. That's another way just to see if you can get your bottom lip to vibrate or your top lip to vibrate. Experiment, muck about with it, because if one of them's not vibrating, you might improve your drone by getting both of them working. Mine now both work, so my lips these days, both of them are vibrating. So which, I mean, for some people, one lip might vibrate better than the other. I don't think you can say one is better than the other. I mean, one's top lip might be better to giving a better sound than the bottom one. I don't know, but whatever. I think if they're both going, you've probably got a better deal, because you've got two lots of vibration, rather than one vibrating slightly less than the other one. I think generally speaking, if your mouth's in the middle, they're probably going to be both vibrating. But anyway, it's a good little test. You can try that out to see if one isn't. I know my bottom lip didn't vibrate much to start with. It really wasn't doing much. It was mainly the top, and that improved my drone. That's one thing you can try. Another thing is, when you're pressing your mouth against the mouthpiece, don't press too hard. I think that this is typical for a lot of people. They end up pressing too hard. I ended up playing, I used to hold the didge and sort of play in my kitchen some years ago now, and I just became aware of that. I thought, blimey, I'm really pressing my lips hard. I thought, I've got to back off, and it just sort of became an automatic thing. So I've sort of learned over the time to sort of not press so hard. I need a certain amount of pressure, so that will vary probably a little bit from person to person, but just don't press too hard. Don't go, you know, really push it, because you'll cut the vibration down on your lips. And you don't want to be pulling too far back, because you won't get it going properly. So you just need a medium amount of pressure, you know, use your common sense and just be aware of it. That's all really. Because basically what's happening is I like to use the analogy of a guitar string. The lips are like a guitar string. You know, when the vibration, when it's taut enough, when the lips are tight enough and compressed enough, you'll get that lovely tuneful sound from it. And like a guitar string, you know, if it's not tight enough, and it's floppy, you won't get any nice sound. It won't be tuneful. It'll be, you know, it just doesn't vibrate nice. It doesn't have a great sound. So all you need to do is with your lips is to get those lips tighter, so that it becomes more tuneful. And really, like a guitar string, you're tightening the string up really. But as opposed to a guitar, you can just tighten it immediately. You can't do that on the didge. It's going to take time. As I said, it could take months, years. It could take years. But don't think, oh yeah, I want it now. You've got to think, okay, let's work on it, and it'll come in time. You know, and it's great. You know, so that's one way of looking at it. So yeah, and what happens is that when your lips are tighter, as I say, like the guitar string, it's nice and tight. The lips are tight, and the lip vibration is generating the energy that then's transformed into this lip vibration because you've got the pressure from the air cheeks, and the tighter the lips are, you can compress inside. You can compress the air inside your cheeks more, because if you do this and don't let any air out and keep your lips really tight, you get a like that, rather than with lots of air coming out. It's much tighter when you're really squeezing the air out, because the lips are tighter. But you need to adjust the tightness by experimenting and over time. You can't force it. To some extent, when I say you can't force it, you need to push it a little bit. You need to kind of push it almost on the, you know, when I experimented to try and improve my drone, I thought, all I need to do is tighten the lips. And I found myself doing this. Losing the drone. But you don't worry about that. You will lose the drone. Just push it a bit and do it and practice it every now and then, so that the lips get used to doing it, and you might lose a drone. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep practicing until when you keep doing it, the lips suddenly start to tighten and just click into this slightly higher, tighter vibration. And what's, you know, the lips are vibrating. What it's doing is vibrating the air column, you know, the air inside. You know, the air's not going all the way through it. You know, the air's going backwards and forwards. In acoustic terms, it's going backwards and forwards inside. And but also what's happening is it's vibrating the stick. The stick's vibrating. So the more energy and lip vibration you're getting, the more the air column is vibrating. You know, it's got more energy in terms of air inside vibrating, and also the stick itself is vibrating, because if you put your hands on the stick, you'll feel it. So all that is sort of energy transformed into the energy of the stick, and that's the whole thing. The air inside vibrating, and the stick as well, the wood, the plastic, fiberglass, whatever you're using, all vibrating. And this is what you can feel when you're playing. You can feel that. You can feel everything, you know. And the more your lips vibrate, the more, and in time, the more sort of subtle you begin to feel all these different sensations coming back from the stick and the air inside the stick and everything, and the bore, the whole lot. You can feel. You know, it's a fascinating thing, really. Something to look forward to as you develop, really. So, and what really with the lip vibration, what you're trying to do is get the stick resonate. We use the term resonance. You get the stick resonating at its natural frequency. And I'm talking here in terms of kind of old school playing. I'm not talking about multi-drone for a minute. That's, you know, you can look at that with someone else who does that, which is great. But I'm just talking about sort of the fundamental drone, the natural frequency of what kind of old school playing, to get that fundamental drone. This key is in key of F, and I did use a tuner. You can get a tuner, something like this, you know, you can get a tuner to practice with, and you can look at it, because when I did it earlier and did the low sort of airy drone, it's actually not on F. This key stick is in F key, right? So on the tuner, when I play it properly, it'll come up as an F. You know, if I'm just doing a drone, it might move about a bit when I'm playing a rhythm, because it'll go up and down a bit. But when you're just playing the drone, that should, on this stick, come up as an F for my playing. And it might vary very slightly between players, because everyone's slightly different in how much vibration they're putting in. But the stick generally will vibrate around the key of F, which is, I think, was it 92 hertz, 92.5 hertz, is it? Something like that. So, or is it 87? I'm thinking the F sharp, 87 hertz, something like that anyway. So you can look at the tuner and see if it's gone down to, say, E, you know, my tuner's showing E there. I know I'm way below and it's kind of a bit of an airy drone. And if that's between E and F now, it's going up because I've got a better drone, but still not tight enough. That's gone up to F now, so there we go, and that's vibrating. That's how I want that stick to vibrate. Now, when it comes to getting a crisp drone, it's not really so much about how much your cheeks are in. That does affect the tone, and it does affect higher harmonics, resonances up the spectrum, you know, frequency spectrum. It does affect it. It will change the tone, you know. I'll demonstrate that. That's done a ooh-wee. You might have come across that in learning. You wouldn't go ooh-wee. You're bringing the cheeks in. It's changing the harmonics slightly. The resonance is up there slightly, that frequency. You can hear the change, the tonal change. But that's not really affecting the crispness of your drone. You can have your cheeks fully out and still have a crisp drone. It will sound different. It kind of might have a more... You know, it won't have that. It won't have that higher tone that you can hear with that cheeks pulled in. So that does give you that added thing. But you should still, you know, if you're aiming to get a crisp drone, then it doesn't matter whether your cheeks out or cheeks in, to be honest with you, because, you know, if I'm doing, say, a papawa didgeridoo rhythm, you know, my cheek drop right down. My cheeks might be outish. And from there I'm pushing up, and sometimes they're out, but I'm still getting a crunchy, crisp sound. I can get a nice crisp tone. So don't worry too much about thinking, oh, you've got to have your cheeks in, but it will change the tone of it slightly, so keep that in mind. So it's really lip vibration here, which is the important thing. So the other thing that can affect your sound is saliva. For a crisp tone, if you haven't got enough saliva in your mouth, if your lips are dry, the tone can sound quite dry. It can go quite, you lose that sort of top end crisp tone, you know. The higher harmonics can suddenly disappear, the higher tone, you know, the sort of trebly sound of the didge can suddenly disappear. I know if I'm playing a gig, that's my worst enemy, is dry lips. You know, the didge player's enemy is having dry lips, and I can't drink any, because I like a beer or two. I don't drink much, but I like a beer or two, and if I drink before playing, that's no good. So I can't do that, and afterwards I can have a beer, but not before, because it dries my lips out. So I can't do it, you know, except for an open mic. I'm not going to worry with that. But if I'm playing a gig and you want to be on, you know, form, then I won't drink. But just coming back to, you know, the saliva thing. If you don't have enough saliva, you can lose that crispness of tone or not get it, you know. So it's important. I did find for a while, I had a little period, it only lasted about a couple of weeks, you know, within, I don't know, was it first year or two I was playing, I had a period where I thought, oh, my drone's gone a bit dry sound. It just doesn't sound, you know. I thought, I was aware. I thought my lips are dry, getting some dryness in my mouth. I did manage to use the bottom of my tongue while I was playing. You know, I did it before I played, and rubbed my tongue on the bottom of the palate there, like that, to get a bit more saliva. And then when I practiced that, and then I did it on the didge, and I did that same thing while I was playing. And I managed to create more saliva, and then I just rebalanced the amount of, I call it oil, really. It's like oiling the lips, you know. You've got a little bit of oil, a bit of saliva there. It just helps improve the tone. So that's another thing for crispness of tone, is the saliva. You know, that's quite important too. So, and just get that balance right, you know. I managed to get balance with that, and you just have to sort of experiment with it. You don't want too much, because that can be annoying too. I think some people suffer with too much saliva. So yeah, I don't know how you would stop that, but I certainly know how you can create more if you haven't got enough. So yeah, really, crispness of tone is getting the lips vibrating like a guitar string, being in tune. And when you're playing different didgeridoos will sound different. So let's, for example, this didge here is what I call it a harmonic stick. They're all harmonic sticks. We've all got this. You all get that timbre, those tones, that sound, that tonal sound from an instrument that has a fundamental tone. This is F, and then above the key of F, you've got all these extra harmonics that give it that rich timbre, create a lovely tone of sound. So when you're getting your lips vibrating properly, each didge will come alive with its own sound when you're connecting to it. So for example, this is what I call a fruity harmonic sounding stick, because it's more like a Mago stick in a way. It's got that rich fruity harmonics humming sound to it, as opposed to like a Northeast Arnhem stick, which might be more sort of, I don't know, high pressure, that real high back pressure sound you get from North Arnhem Land sticks that might be a dirtier sound, or might be a very high metallic sound that you can get on some of those with those tongue movements they do, you know. But they've got to get the lip vibration right to get that, with their other techniques, of course, as well. So I've got another F stick here, which is a higher back pressure stick. I mean, this is quite a low back pressure stick, this one, and it sounds totally different, but I've still got to get the lips vibrating to really make that sing in its own way. So really, it doesn't matter what stick it is, you know. If you want to get it really sounding nice, you just need to work on it over a period of time, you know, and don't worry about the fact that you're not there yet, because if you do, you'll just get disappointed and think, oh, I don't sound like that person. And a professional player that might have been playing for many, many years. So, and the other thing is, when you get your lips vibrating, you know, it's really interesting, because you're compressing the air, whether your cheeks are puffed or whether they're pulled in, the lips, you're still compressing the cheeks. I am with my jaw pushing up, or with the tongue pushing up. You're keeping the air compression, you know, the air is compressing inside your cheeks, and then it's going through the lips, and the lips are vibrating, and when you've got this compression and the tighter lips, you know, the energy is greater in that transmutation process, you know, from here to the stick, and then this comes alive. It livens everything up, and the feedback to you livens you up, because it makes you feel good as well, because it's like, whoa, I'm really getting this to sing. So yeah, it's exciting when it happens, and it's inspiring listening to others, because it's something that you think, okay, in time, if I just practice a few things, like I said earlier, you can practice those things, but don't do it and think I want to get it by next week. You think I'll do it every now and then in time, your lip, your muscles, cheeks, everything develops, and the sound does, and will improve in time. So that's what there is to look forward to. I'll just give one last demo on the stick, just to go over once again what will happen from basic sort of not quite so tuned in sound to a more tuned in sound. And I'll start off again with the not tuned in sound, with the lips are vibrating not quite as they should be. Right, that's where it's not quite tuned in. I'm going to create a bit more energy in it now and get these lips tight, compress the air, and get it singing a bit more. Here we go. It certainly sounds better to me, the second one. I hope it sounded better to you. And as I say, there's so many different sticks, wonderful sticks out there to try. Also, one last thing maybe I should mention is that if you've got a really good lip vibration going and you've got, the technique's good, you may pick a stick up and play it and think, oh, that's not sounding so good. Well, that may just come down to the stick. So there is that too. So that's something to be aware of, because that's to do, I would say, quality of a stick, how it sounds. Now, sound is very subjective. What you like, somebody else might not like, but there's still a reference of quality we can put in different sticks, whether it's like a Mago style stick, whether it's a Northeast Arnhem Land style stick, whether it's, and I'm I play it as a contemporary player. I play contemporary, even though I love the trad stuff as well. But I'm just using those two comparisons because, if you know anything about the traditional, the Mago has that kind of those rich humming harmonics that you get from certain style of stick. So you're going to get that out of it. And if you're playing a stick with higher back pressure, you know what kind of stick you're going to get out of that. But if you've got a stick that just doesn't sound good, you can only get so much out of it. You can't do miracles. You can't make a stick sound good if it doesn't have the qualities in the stick to make it sound good. So and different sticks will sound different. For example, overtone, what I call the airy overtones, not the toots or not the multiphonics, which is using your vocal cords. When you're singing down the stick, you get these multiphonic sounds. Nothing to do with multi-drone, that. But the airy overtones where you get like passive throat singing, where you've got these overtones being where your tongue's moving and you're getting these overtones. Certain sticks bring that right out. But again, you need the lips need to be tight, crisp. Everything needs to be nicely inside. And then you can bring everything out of it and bring it alive. And unless you're doing a drop tone or something, where you want the drop tone to drop, that's different. But anyway, hopefully it's useful in some way and maybe help you to approach it in the right way and thinking, I'm going to practice it here and there, but I'll be patient and just enjoy where you are. I did. I enjoyed where I was. I didn't have the drone, and it took a few years really for it to really get crisper. And then I've enjoyed the process all the way through. Just enjoy it, and you can look forward to the time when you can really make it sing and more tuneful. So anyway, that's all there is. That's all I'm going to say today. I think I've rambled on enough, and good luck with it.